Good morning, Cam Brar for Cam's Mortgage Minute on May 25th, Friday. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about the continuing saga, and that's the Canadian housing market. We hear stuff about it constantly, and another agency has come out today, and that's an agency called DBRS. They're a Canadian headquartered credit rating agency. They have rendered their own opinion on the Canadian housing market, its stability, risks, and all of those other wonderful things. And here's what they've come up with. They've said, according to them, that despite record high levels of household debt, they argue that Canadian housing market could withstand a 40% decline. In other words, Canadians with what they have for net worth and value could withstand a 40% decline in the housing market. Now, none of us want to see a 40% decline, but hey, that's relatively good news that they feel this is the case. Now, does this mean that every family would fare well? Absolutely not. In whether times are good or bad, families would always have a challenge, especially when you have loss of employment. That could cause some real issues for family. Sickness can cause real issues for family. These are the things they pointed to and said that these could be extra mitigating factors. A sudden decline in real estate sales, a drop in property values, they could cause real issues. As we talked about yesterday with this proposed possibility of these refinance rule changes, if suddenly we're declining people for refinances even though they paid well, guess what that's going to do to property values? You got it. We're going to create our own issues here. The other thing that was interesting as well, they said, was that the Canadian mortgage lending amounted to $1.1 trillion by the end of 2011. Now add to that other mortgage-related debt and credit lines, those infamous home equity lines of credit, and that number rises to $1.3 trillion. So in other words, credit lines and other related debt are $200 billion of this total. Now, everybody, including OSFI and them, have been jumping up and down about credit lines. Well, credit lines, by those numbers, account to 15% of the overall mortgage debt. That doesn't seem like something that we got to be jumping up and down about altogether. Now, they also had pointed to the fact that the overall Canadian housing market appears in most cities to be relatively balanced based on inventory and supplies. Now, of course, we all know that there's pockets that are overvalued. We know that areas like Vancouver or Toronto are very hot. And as I mentioned to you a long time ago, those two markets account for over 52% of the overall real estate sales throughout Canada. So again, when we've got two main segments as being overheated and we are trying to cool the entire country, it doesn't make any sense. I am an advocate that we need regional policies for CMHC, government policies as far as mortgages, especially when they're insured, have to be regional policies. Every region is slightly different. And if we don't do that, we're not going to have things quite the way they should be, because we are prescribing medication to everybody when the disease is only afflicting a few. Anyway, that's my opinion. Their last conclusion on this was that a combination of higher interest rates, lower property values, and a drastic increase in unemployment would be of a great concern to the Canadian economy, and the mortgage defaults would increase. Well, you know what? I don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars to figure that out. I think we all know, common sense wise, that if these things were to happen simultaneously, they would definitely be the perfect storm and could cause a disaster. But by the attestment of these fine folks already, they said that the Canadian housing market could sustain a 40% decline. Of course, none of us want to see that. So, bottom line, folks, what does this mean to you? It means be prepared. Cash is king. Set aside money. Get money in savings accounts. Make sure that you have a few months worth of reserve in case, the proverbial caca hits the fan. You got to make sure that you're ready for this and you can sustain this. That's the bottom line. Don't rely on the pundits. Don't rely on the experts. You know what your household debt is. You know where you are financially. Those are the areas that you need to be focusing on and paying attention to. Do that, and you've got a pretty good chance of keeping on and getting through any kind of mess that may arise. Anyway, it's been Cam for Cam's Mortgage Minute. Enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday.